evening, everyone, and welcome to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for the 16th of May, 2023. So today we have one editorial article which has been taken from the Hindu and is titled "A Court Recall That Impacts the Rights of the Accused." For the second and the third segment of today, we will have the legal news update and the news updates for the day. So, in today's editorial article that is titled "A Court Recall That Impacts the Rights of the Accused," we deal with the SC's decision to recall the Ritu Chabaria judgment. Now, the SC on the 1st of May sought to recall its decision in the case of Ritu Chabaria versus the Union of India. Now, this was done after the Solicitor General of India had gone forward and plead the court that it should recall this decision since this was creating difficulties on the parts of the investigating agencies. So before we jump to the judgment, we need to understand what the right to default bail is. Now, the accused has the right to receive a statutory bail if the investigating agencies fail to complete investigation within 60 to 90 days. And this is laid down under Section 167, subsection 2 of CRPC. Now, there's a reason why this is called a statutory bail or a default bail. Now, this is because it is called a default bail because the application is not related to the merits of the case. So this goes simply by the logic that if the investigating authority goes forward and cannot produce something within the stipulated time of 60 to 90 days, the accused will get a bail irrespective of the merit of their cases. And it is designed in such a way that the investigating authorities cannot keep an accused in detention for a very long time. Now, the right has been held by SC in multiple judgments. And the same is an indefeasible right that stems from the provisions of Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. If we look into other judgments apart from Ritu Chabaria, we see that in Achpal versus the state of Rajasthan, which was in 2018, the court went forward and held that even though an investigation report which had been submitted to the submitted in front of the court was complete, if the same was filed by an unauthorized investigating officer, then it would not bar the accused from availing the benefit of a default bail. A more recent case that is from 2020, S. Kasi versus State, the court further stated that even during the COVID-19 pandemic, the investigating agencies would not be allowed any relaxation towards computing the maximum stipulated period of investigation, which could lead to additional detention of the accused. Now, coming to the Ritu Chabaria judgment, why this is significant and what happens because of it being recalled. So the police used to do a lot of the police used to cut a lot of corners and they used to take part in illegitimate practices. Oftentimes, what would happen is the investigating authority would not go forward and submit a report within the stipulated time period of 60 to 90 days, but they would go forward and submit an incomplete report just before the accused could go and move the court for a statutory bail. So this would keep on accumulating and would cause in the long-term detention of the accused. So in order to curb this practice altogether, the SC came forward with the Ritu Chabaria versus Union of India judgment. Now, when we look into this judgment, we realize that it is not entirely a radically new judgment. The court drew from the cases of Uday Mohanlal Acharya versus the state of Maharashtra, which delineated the constitutional foundations of the right of an accused to avail statutory bail. Now, what happens because of this judgment being recalled? Well, given the serious implications that this judgment has had, it is imperative that the SC, hearing this matter, does not sacrifice procedural propriety at the altar of administrative convenience. That is, the entire argument of the Solicitor General of India had been that the Ritu Chabaria judgment causes impediments in the path of the investigating agencies. However, when we take that into consideration, or when we take that into consideration and compare it with the accused being held long term into detention and his freedom, his fundamental rights being curtailed, we need to understand that the Supreme Court has to take cognizance of this and hopefully would not sacrifice the fundamental rights of the accused at the altar of administrative inconvenience. With this, we move on to the news updates for the day. Firstly, we have Shipping Ministry second in Data Governance Quality Index amongst other ministries. Now, the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways (MOPSW) has achieved an outstanding accomplishment in securing the second position among 66 ministries in the highly influential Data Governance Quality Index assessment for 2022-2023 Q3. The ministry has been awarded an impressive score of 4.7 out of 5, which highlights the ministry's unwavering commitment to achieving excellence in data governance. Secondly, we have Shooting World Cup. Rhythm Sangwan breaks 29-year-old world record. Rhythm Sangwan registered a score of 595 in the qualification round to better the previous world record of 594 set by Bulgarian shooter Diana Iorgova in 1994. Germany's Doreen Venekamp had equaled the record at the ISSF World Cup in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh back in March. Rhythm Sangwan topped the qualification round but could only finish last in the 8 women final with 10 points. Next up, we have Karnataka DGP Praveen Sood as the new CBI director. Mr. Sood is a 1986 batch IPS officer of the Karnataka Cadre. He was appointed as the state DGP 3 years ago. He hails from the Himachal Pradesh and is an alumnus of IIT Delhi, who was to retire in May 2024, but now will get a 2 10-year fixed extension, will get an extension of a 2-year fixed tenure, and shall be in office till May 2025 at the least. The 2-year fixed tenure of the present incumbent Shubodh Kumar Jaiswal, who is a 1985 batch IPS officer from Maharashtra Cadre, is coming to an end on May 25th. Next up, we have Navies of India, Indonesia begin a 6-day exercise. The Indian Navy has deployed its indigenously built anti-submarine warfare corvette INS Kavaratti, a Dornier maritime patrol aircraft, and a Chetak chopper for the Samudra Shakti exercise. The Indonesian Navy is being represented at the exercise by warship KRI Sultan Iskandar Muda, CN-235 maritime patrol aircraft, and AS-565 Panther helicopter. Next up, we have NASA launches the second super pressure balloon. Flying on the second balloon is the Extreme Universe Space Observatory, a science mission from the University of Chicago that aims to build on data collected during a 2017 mission. So this is a second super pressure balloon, and this goes forward to continue the first super pressure balloon mission that NASA had conducted. So USO-2 will detect ultra-high energy cosmic ray particles from beyond our galaxy as they penetrate Earth's atmosphere. The origins of these particles are not well known, so the data collected from USO-2 will help solve this science mystery. Now, for the legal update segment of the day, firstly, we have accused not entitled to bail in money laundering case merely because charge sheet has been filed in predicate offense. And this has been held by the Supreme Court in the case of Directorate of Enforcement versus Aditya Tripathi. Now, in this case, the SC has held that a mere fact that charge sheet has been filed for the predicate offences is not a ground to release the accused on bail in connection with the offences under the PMLA. Secondly, we have high courts can issue additional directions while considering bail pleas by virtue of powers under Article 226 and 227. And this was held by the Supreme Court in the case of Sanjay Dubey versus the state of Madhya Pradesh and another. So in this case, the Supreme Court recently held that High Court, even while deciding a bail application, has the power to issue other directions in interest of justice by virtue of its powers under Article 226 and Article 227 of the Indian Constitution. So this was all for today. For free study materials and TNA PDF slides, please join our Telegram channel, the link of which you can find in the description given below, or you can always scan the barcode that is given on your screen. Also subscribe us on YouTube to stay up to date with the thorough newspaper analysis as it comes out every day. Thank you.